Good morning, students. Today we will be continuing our topic further in algebra. Today we will be discussing about evaluating algebraic expressions. So this is our topic today. Now what do you mean by algebraic expressions? So algebraic expressions means to find the value of the expression by substituting the variables with their numerical values. So in simple, wherever a variable is given, see, you can see over here I have taken the example number 10. In example number 10, the sum is like 2r plus 8. Now r is the variable here, and I am going to put the value of r each time with 1, 2 and 3, and each time you will see that I will be getting a different answer. So let us take an example of the same with r as 1. Question remains the same, 2r plus 8. In place of r, you can substitute 1. So this becomes 2 into 1 plus 8 will give you 2 plus 8 as 10 as your answer. Now let us take r as 2. We are going to substitute 2 in place of r. So as you can see over here 2r plus 8 is there, and in place of r I have substituted 2. 2 into 2 is 4 plus the 8 will give me 12 as the answer. Now considering r, we will take the value of r as 3. Again the same equation, 2r plus 8. In place of r I have put a 3, and 3 to is 6, and 6 plus 8 will give me 14. So in short, when we talk about algebraic expressions, we have to find the value of the expression by substituting the variables with their numeric values. With the numerical values, if you do it, you will get your answer. Now let us take an example number 11. We'll talk about example 11. Here also we will be putting the values for the same. In 11, we'll be taking some number b. Let us take some number b. Some number b, when we take, it is something like minus 8 plus k upon 7, where the values of k that we will be taking will be 10 and 14. Now say when we take k as 10, we have to substitute this 10 in this part over here in the question. So minus 8 remains as it is, plus k. K we have to put the value, first we will be taking as 10 and then as 14. Now see, 7 8s is 56, so I have to cross multiply this also over here first. So as you can see over here, I have got minus 56, because 7 8s is 56, minus 56, and the value of k as 10. Minus 56 plus 10 will give me answer as minus 46, and the denominator remains the same. So for when I substitute the value of k as 10, my answer is minus 46 upon 7. Now let me take the value of k as 14. Question remains the same. Minus 8 plus k upon 7. 7 7s are 49 and 7 8s is 56. So minus 56 and plus the value of 14 divided by 7. Minus 56 plus 14 will give me minus 42 upon 7. And then you can see 7 1s are and 7 6s are. But because there is a minus sign over here, I will be taking my answer as minus 6. So this is how we get the answer, minus 46 upon 7 and minus 6 as the answer when k is substituted in this sum as 10 and 14. Okay students, we continue further with the topic. We will be moving on to the next topic, that is the use of variables in common rules in mathematics. We will be dealing with rules from geometry. Now as you can see in the figure here, I have drawn a square for you. So let us find out the first one, the perimeter of a square A, B, C and D. When you know if it is a square, it's all the four sides are the same. So the perimeter of a square ABCD, if I have to calculate, I can put it into this manner. 4 times the length of the side of the square. 1, 2, 3 and 4. All the 4 sides of the square I can take it. So 4 times the length of the side of the square, and I have mentioned over here, this is the length, or you take it as the breadth, it remains the same. So 4 multiplied by L, 4 times the length, will give me the answer as 4L. So the perimeter of a square will be 4L. This is the formula to find out the perimeter of a square. And L is the variable which denotes the length of the sides. So this is how the perimeter of a square can be found out. Now let us find out the same for the area of a square. We'll be doing it for the area of a square. Second one, area of a square ABCD. It remains, this was the perimeter, and now we'll be talking about the area. Area of a square, the same square ABCD. Therefore, the area of a square ABCD, what will happen? Side multiplied by side. You can have all the 4 sides are the same. So we'll be taking one side and we'll be taking the 2 sides when we calculate the formula. The length part and the breadth part, they both remain the same. So area of a square ABCD will be side into side, or we can write it down in place of side. We can write first L, we can write the second L, and then we multiply the 2. L into L becomes L square. So the formula to find out the area of a square will be L square. This was the perimeter 4L, and this is the area of a square, L square. Okay, the third topic. Earlier, as you have seen, we discussed with the perimeter of a square, the formula to find out the perimeter of a square, and the area of a square. So today again we'll go further with the perimeter of a rectangle. You can see this is a rectangle P, Q, R and S. So we'll be finding out the perimeter of this rectangle PQRS. As you can see over here, I mentioned this as the length. This is the length of the perimeter. I have written L, and this is B, which is the breadth of the perimeter. Now, in order to find out the rectangle of the perimeter of the rectangle, I have added up all the sides. Side PQ plus QR plus RS plus SP. Now, as you can see that in a rectangle, always the 2 sides are the same. The 2 opposite sides. You can see PQ and SR, they are the same. I repeat, PQ and SR, they both are opposite to one another, hence they are of the same length. And similarly, you see the other 2 sides, the breadth, RQ and SP, they are both the same. Yes, they remain the same. So instead of SR, I can take this as 2 multiplied by PQ, because 2 times the length. So I can take this as 2 into PQ, because first one and the second one. So 2 into PQ plus 2 into RQ. This is RQ. RQ is same as you have seen earlier. RQ is same as SP. So I can take this as 2 RQ, because the breadth is the same. So when I do so, I get the perimeter of the rectangle 2 times the length plus 2 times the breadth. So the formula to find out the perimeter of a rectangle is 2L plus 2B. And here you can see I have taken the variables L and B both. And L and B, they are the length and the breadth respectively. They are the variables. Now this is what we talked about. That was all from geometry. Now let us discuss few things from arithmetic. Arithmetic, we have already gone through the lessons, so you are aware of the same. The first one, commutativity of addition of the 2 numbers. A very simple rule that you will need and understand and follow, but with the variables this time we will be doing it. 2 plus 4, as you all know, is 6, and you take the other way, 4 plus 2, that is also 6. So the rule is either you take A plus B, it is going to be the same as B plus A, and these two, A and B, they are the 2 variables. Then we talk about the commutativity of the multiplication of 2 numbers. I repeat, we take commutativity of multiplication of 2 numbers. First one we have taken the commutativity of addition. Now it is the commutativity of multiplication of the two numbers. You take 2 into 3 will give you 6, and you take 3 into 2, that will also give you a 6. So here the rule was a plus b is equal to b plus a. So here you can put the rule as a into b will be is equal to b into a. You multiply it whichever way, you will get the same answer. And here also a and b, they are your two variables. Now let us talk about the third one, that is the distributivity of numbers. You can see on the screen the distributivity of numbers. 5 into 74. When I do so, I will get the answer as 370. 5 into 370 will give me the answer, 74 will give me the answer 370. And according to the property, I will elaborate it. 5 multiplied by 74, I have split up into 70 plus 4, which will give me 5 multiplies with 70. So 5 multiplied with 70, plus sign in the middle. So I put a plus sign in the middle here. And then 5 into 4. 5 into 4. 5 multiplied by 70 will give me 350. And 5 into 4 will give me answer as 20. So now you add up these two. 350 plus 20 will again give me the answer as 370. So I multiply 5 into 74 with this manner. Then also I get the same answer as 370. And I use the distributivity property and I multiply it in this order. Then also I get answer as 370. So the rule goes as a multiplied by, you can see this is a multiplied by b plus c. And then you can see I have elaborated again. A has been multiplied with b and a has been multiplied with c. A into b plus a into c. And again, as you are aware, a, b and c, they are the variables. Now let us take one more example, and that makes your understanding even better. We'll take example number 12. 12a we will deal. I have written the question for you people to understand. We just have to put it along with its variables. The question is, the area of a rhombus is half. The area, I repeat, of the rhombus is half the product of its two diagonals, d1 and d2. So the formula here will be calculating it will be area of a rhombus is equal to half, because that is there in the question, is equal to half multiplied by d1 multiplied by d2. So the final answer which I get will be half d1 d2. This is the formula according to this sum to find out the area of a rhombus. Okay students, and now we'll move down to the last topic that we have to be dealing with. We'll just have a brief introduction about equations. See, I have written this algebraic expression on you can see it on my screen. Yes, it is like 23 plus y, which gives me 30. Now this algebraic statement 23 plus y is equal to 30 is called an equation. Yes, now you can see this 23 is being talked about a girl named Tanvi. She had 23 marbles with her. Her sister gave her y number of marbles and her total has now become 30. Yes, okay. Now you can see 23 plus y, it is on the left hand side. So we will label it as LHS, left hand side. Then you can see there is an equal to sign in the middle. So we have put an equal to sign over here. And what is the outcome? What is the result? It is on the right hand side. We have 30 on the right hand side. Yes, I repeat, 23 plus y is equal to 30 is our algebraic statement which is put into the form of an equation. So this entire becomes an equation. Equations you people will be having in your science also, where you will have a left hand side and you will be having a right hand side. And similarly we have it over here as well. 23 plus y, I repeat again, is your left hand side part, and on the other side of equal to is in the middle, and you have other number, the outcome, that is 30 on the right hand side. Now if I put 23 plus, let me take it as y is equal to 7. How do I get y is equal to 7? I can always keep the y constant over here and I can shift 23 on the other side of equal to. I have explained you earlier that when any number goes onto the other side of equal to, it will change its sign. So if I take 23 on the other side of 30, it will become 30 minus 23. And what do I have as the answer? 7. Yes, or directly because this is a smaller number, I can do so. 23 plus 7, when I add or take the value of y is equal to 7, then also I will be getting my answer as 30. So 23 plus 7 is equal to 30, and on the right hand side also you have your answer and the outcome as 30. So you can see, and we can explain that left hand side always has to be balanced to the right hand side. LHS has to be balanced to the RHS part. There is one condition as well, the last part I am explaining. If the LHS, which is like the case here, if the LHS is equal to RHS, then definitely you will get a solution. But if the LHS is not equal to RHS, say for example here it was 30, and here if I get an answer as 35, then I will not get a solution. Yes, so this is the just brief initial starting part for equations. In tomorrow's video, I will be explaining you people how do we solve equations with the various methods. Okay, so fine, with this we end our session over here. Goodbye all and take care. God bless.